Alright, so as you see here, we've got our boiled wort. If you can see here, right here, this line, that's about where we were, about 7.5 gallons. And then we boiled all the way down there. Looks like it's come out to just over 5 gallons. I think we're probably a bit low on our gravity, but I think it's okay. I'm kind of sick of boiling away, so we're going to stop right there. I think we're close enough. And what I've got going on right now, you can see, a little while before, well, a little longer than I was expecting, I put the immersion chiller in the boil kettle, and that sanitizes it as it boils. And now we've got it hooked up. And you can see here we've got cold tap water, which flows through this line down through the coils, and then it absorbs that heat, and then it carries it away out of this line, which is draining into the sink here, and that's coming out a little warmer. Probably what I'd do is sometimes you have to move these around a little bit, but I have to move the kettle a bit before I can do that. And our goal is to get that down to mash temperature, which is about 68 degrees. And actually, while this is cooling, I'm going to go ahead and throw in the last addition to the boil, which is 1 teaspoon of our nice homemade pumpkin pie spice. And that's going to go directly in. It's supposed to be 1 teaspoon. That's a lot more than a teaspoon, but I want to put it in there while it's still kind of hot. It'll take it about 15 minutes or so before this completely cools down. So we will come back when that's completely good to go, and we'll put it into the fermenter, which is over here. Sanitized and ready to go. Alright. Alright, so very nearly there. Getting ready to put our nearly chilled wort. We're about 5 degrees off, I think. I'm going to shut this off for a second. So we're going to rack this into our fermenter, and it's really important once we get to this point, now that we've chilled it, we don't want to introduce any bugs to this, any wild yeast or anything, so we want to make sure that we are fully sanitizing, and that is using our Star San sanitizer. I use this spray bottle, works pretty well, and then I spray down just about everything that's going to touch it, like the strainer and this bucket, both sides of that, anything that's going to touch it. Be especially careful with your hands as well. This thermometer has been sanitized. You can see here, maybe in this pot, I've got a aeration stone that we're going to use to aerate our wort that I've boiled, and now it's kind of chilling out a little bit until we get ready to do that. That's also going to be sterilized. That mash rake, I'll also sterilize that. Anything that's going to be touching it at this point, because it's going to be susceptible to wild yeast and all flavors and stuff. And then you can see these little globules on top, look kind of like fat. Those are coagulated protein, which have been binding together in the boil, and those are going to be strained out, so we're not going to have to worry about those. It's clearing up as we speak. It looked a lot like pond water at a moment, but now it's looking a lot more like beer. So here in a minute, we're going to put it into our fermenter, and I'll show you once we open the smack pack, which if you remember when I smacked it, it's been several hours, it's been almost 6 hours. You can see this thing is really swelled up, and that's about as good as it's going to get. That is ready to go. Ready to go. We still have to rack this in, though, and then aerate it for about 45 minutes, and then we'll be able to put that in. So not quite there yet, but very, very close. Alright, so we've got our wort moved to the fermenter. I've got my aerator set up here. It's going to go for about 45 minutes, I think. This is going to oxygenate our wort and get that to a good level to pitch our yeast. Probably about, you don't have to do this step. Some people like to just splash it around or shake it around a little bit. That's something you could do, but this is a much better system for getting a solid start for your yeast. But I'm not really worried about our yeast. Are going to be in good shape. They are anxious to go. Came in a little under my gravity, unfortunately. We were at about 1053. I would have liked to have been at least 1055. So about 2 points lower than I would have liked. Just means our beer is going to finish a little drier than the recipe calls for. So not a big deal. Still be drinkable. Still be fine. It looks like we came out about, let's see, right at about 5 gallons actually. So perfect. I'm just going to let that hang out for 45 minutes, and then we'll pitch our yeast, put an airlock on this, and call it a day.